Yo, what's going on? This your boy Cloud Chasing, aka Big Clouds would call me. You heard me. How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing? Welcome to another show, man. Yeah. Hey man. This is gonna be interesting. So welcome. Sit down, come on in, invite 10 people. I'm gonna go ahead and go to IG as well. I'm gonna go live over there. So let me do that. Let's check in the connection. Um, Hope y'all had a good Sunday. Hey, what's up, IG? This your boy Cloud Chasing, aka Big Cloud. Y'all know what it is. Hey, look, so we talking about the eviction crisis, right? So last year, you know, well, it's tough, man. It's tough. Anybody out there having hard times paying their rent, paying their bills right now, I feel for each and every one of y'all. I'm having a hard time myself. You feel me? Like every paycheck is a grind. Every every payment is a grind. It's a struggle, right? It's like, man, am I gonna be able to get this payment through? But look, this is not about me and my payments. This is not about the black men and their payments. This is about our black women and their payments, right? This is about our black community, our black females, who at times was being kind of disrespectful. Not kind of, they were being disrespectful to the late, great Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels. Like him, hate him, disagree with him, whatever. The man was right about one thing. You can say he had bad tone. You can say he had bad attitude. You can say he didn't love his mama. You can say all those reflective things. The one thing that you cannot say that he was wrong about was when he said this about a year and a half ago. He said, winter is coming for women, more specifically for black women. Why did he say that? This was around, so let me back up some. Kevin Samuels passed away May 5th, 2022. So the fall prior to that, so 2021, he was sending a message to everybody, men, women, everybody, right? Remember, this is after the pandemic, but it's still like the pandemic stuff is happening. So they don't have to pay their rent, right? People are getting stimulus checks. It was real stimulating around here. People was really feeling stimulated. You feel me? People was getting their guapole for free from Uncle Sam, right? They was getting their money, right? And there was a whole bunch of freelance, social media, pretty privileged women who took to something that's called OnlyFans. Yes. Now, if you a simp like I'm a simp, hold on. I had to break the glass one time for that one. Look, you gonna spend some money on OnlyFans. So what women were doing, still are doing to this day, creating sexual content and putting it out there for people to subscribe to, right? And let me say this too about OnlyFans. OnlyFans is not just for sexual content, right? It's dudes, it's sports celebrities and people and regular individuals who got OnlyFans and they put out different type of content. So let me make that clear. But what Kevin was saying, he was talking about those women who were creating these OnlyFans, and they were blowing up. So they got tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. They getting they guapole. Hey, what's up, Manny? And what's up, Jovan? I see y'all. What's up? Hi, Kizzle. What's up? I see y'all. So they was getting their bread, right? And Kevin Samuels, the Godfather. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Nieces, nephews, CIA, FBI. He was telling y'all. He said, "What's going on?" And Kevin was like, "Yo, winter's coming for y'all." he always asks these questions to these females. Look, he always asks these questions to these females. When you can't pay you don't have money. OnlyFans is gone. No more OnlyFans. OnlyFans is gone. You're 65, 70 years old, right? What are you going to do during retirement to make that money? Right? What are you going to do to make that money? Where's it going to come from? Where's the money going to come from? I don't know. The female, I don't know. I don't know where the money going to come from. I'm going to live with my kids. I don't know. See, when he asked the question to the man was like, I guess we're going to be homeless. We're going to be on the street. We're going to, and that's the hardcore reality, right? Men are more willing to accept that than a woman, right? Women just think somebody's going to pay for them. Somebody's going to pay for this OnlyFans areolas. Somebody going to pay for these OnlyFans feet fetish videos I'm going to make. But Kevin told y'all, winter's coming. Look, let me introduce myself for those of you who may not know. Right? Big Cloud Chasing, that's the name of the YouTube channel. My actual name, SavalasWilliams. I spent the last several years educating myself about real estate. I hold a real estate license for the state of California, even though I'm no longer living in California. Bachelor's degree in business management with a concentration in real estate. Associate's degree in real estate, certificate of completion in real estate, and also certificate of completion in commercial real estate through BOMA, right? The fellowship program that was at Merritt College in Oakland, California. Currently working in military housing here in Virginia Beach. So that's just a little bit about me and my background. So I enjoy real estate. I love real estate. I owned a couple properties, sold a property, managed my own property for several years across country, dealt with property managers, had to fire property managers, all the type of stuff, right? Had to do loss mitigation on my own property because money wasn't coming in right. So I'm a little bit familiar when it comes to this real estate game. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You feel me? So let's go back to the fall when Kevin was telling the women, hey, winter's coming. What are y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna be on the street. Y'all gonna be on the street. But they wasn't having it. They wasn't listening. They wasn't listening. Look. There's an article that came out right before Kevin passed away. Let me pull it up. It's from USA Today, right? And there's another article that's on theroot.com. The Root, ROOT.com. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube right now, you can see the link. It's in my description below. If you're on there, right? Let me tell you what the title of this say. Black women face greater risk of eviction than any other group. This was published April 5th, 2022. Now you're saying to yourself, Cloud, this 2023, bro, why are you bringing this up? I'm bringing this up simply because things have got even worse since then. Not just for black women, but we focusing on black women because black women were the ones that were shaming and bashing Kevin when he was speaking truth and speaking facts. And more than anything, what he wanted to see was black women be the best versions of themselves and black men be the best versions of themselves and to come together, right? That's what he really wanted to see. So if you're doing all this OnlyFans and you shaking your tail feather and you doing all this other stuff to hustle and grind, are you a wife? No. You're just not. You're just not, right? And so When the stimulus checks dried up and the eviction moratoriums started to kick into effect, when it was like, yo, we need to try to start, banning, people got to pay rent, basically. Y'all gonna have to start paying rent again, right? Y'all got to do something. Y'all got to pay rent. Y'all back 3 months, 6 months, whatever the case may be, y'all got to pay rent. Right? I'm going to tell y'all, I'm guilty. I can admit, y'all, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of what? What you talking about, Big Cloud? Let me tell you what I'm talking about, what I'm guilty of. If y'all on the YouTube right now, y'all can put it in the chat. Put in a 1 if you can hear me. I just been running my mouth. I don't even know if y'all can hear me on. I don't even know if y'all can hear me on YouTube. But I know IG can hear me. So salute to y'all on IG. I appreciate that. Yes, definitely. That's my guy. Be your own agent. That's my guy right there. But yeah. So I'm guilty of putting black women out on the street. Let me say that. A black woman. I've done it. Now, you're looking at someone who's married to a black woman who has 3 black daughters, right? So my perspective is that of sympathy and compassion, right? But also, we have to take heed to what Brother Samuels was telling us and understand that just because he came off a certain way and you didn't like the way he brought it to you doesn't mean that it was wrong information. It was completely correct information. Winter is coming. Y'all about to get evicted if y'all don't have stable income. So let's get into, let me just tell y'all this backstory a little bit before I go into the article about the black women facing greater evictions, the crisis that they're facing, right? So when I was renting out one of my homes, it was to a black woman. It was to a black woman, right? So this was the first red flag. Anybody out there thinking about getting into real estate, or those people who are already in real estate, you guys will know. The first red flag was this. When they said, hey, we want to go and rent the home from you, right? Because we was moving out of that house. We bought another home. We're moving into our new home, and we're going to rent that house out. They was like, yo, we want to rent the home from you. Now, mind you, they had already been living with us for a few months already, right? But I'm not going to go too far deep into the roots of that. So when it was time for us to move out, leave, I said, yo, we about to move out and leave. She was like, oh, well, we can just rent the house from you. It seemed like a pretty good deal. Okay. If y'all already here, I mean, go ahead and, okay, let's do it, right? So this was the first red flag from a black woman, right? Think about it. This is what she told me. I said, look, I'm gonna go create a lease agreement. I need to create a lease agreement because we need documentation. I need to create a lease agreement. I got to cover myself as the owner of this home, right? I got to cover myself. I got to cover my wife. I got to cover the asset, right? Once you are using a property for rental income, it's an asset. If you live in a property, you're not collecting any rent from it, it's actually a liability. But we're not going to talk about that. Shh. Yes. It do. It definitely do. But look, the first red flag was this. I told her, I'm going to go create a lease agreement. You know what she said? Oh, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to create no lease agreement. I got you. That's what she said, dog. That's what she said. I got you. You want me to create? We were sitting on the stoop. Ain't that what they say in New York? The stoop. The stoop. We were sitting on the stoop of my house. She was like, yo, I can rent the apartment from y'all. She was like, I said, okay, cool. I said, I'll create a lease agreement. Nah, man, we don't really need no lease. I think we do. I think we really need a lease agreement. Trio, I see you. What's up, soldier? Hey, Y'all throw me some hearts, some likes, or something, some share the video, because this is important information, man. This. Kevin was right about black women being evicted. It happened. It's still happening. The economy is getting worse. The inflation is getting deeper. Right? It's off the chain. Look, the first red flag. I don't need no lease. I got you. Nah. I'm getting the lease. One of the smartest things I did when it comes to the real estate game. Right? So we created the lease. She went ahead and signed the lease. Down the line, I'm going to fast forward because I want to talk about the article. She ended up not paying the rent for a couple months. A few months, actually. And I was still real early in the rental game. And so I was naive to the fact that once I filed the eviction with the court, I'm thinking that she going to be put out like the next day. Man, it took like 6 months to get her out the house, cuz. It took 6 months to get the lady out my house. And she was living rent free. I'm going to say it again. Listen. This is before the pandemic. I want y'all to understand, this is before the pandemic. So it wasn't no rent moratoriums happening. It wasn't no you get to live free for 6 months on GP. It wasn't none of that. This is before the pandemic. It still took them 6 months. When I say them, I mean the city. To get her officially evicted out of the house that I had to pay the mortgage on. So I was paying 2 mortgages for like 6 months. You don't think my family was hurting, cuz? You don't think I was hurt financially? Paying 2 mortgages? Right? It is not for the weak of heart. From an owner's perspective. Now. So, I don't know if y'all know this, but when you evict somebody, you can try to collect the money that they owe you, right? So you can do that by doing what? Who knows what you can do? What's up, Cuddy? Who knows what you can do in order to collect rent from someone who owe you rent? What can you do as an owner? What can you do? Do you know? Y'all can put it in the chat. What y'all think? What y'all think y'all can do? Somebody owe you money. You go to court. The court agrees with you. The court says, yes, this person owes you money, but the court can't make them pay. So how do you get the money that they owe you? How do you get that bread? Yep. You garnish their wages. Now, how can you garnish someone's wages? You need their social security number. And you know what? I had it. How did I get the social security number? Because of the lease agreement. I had it on the lease agreement. Right? So, when you go to file for the garnishment, they call the head corporation of the person's workplace. I told y'all I evicted a black woman because I'm guilty of what Kevin Samuels was talking about. Winter is coming. Black women, y'all gonna be out on the street. Y'all gonna be on the street. He was trying to tell y'all, hey, get you a man, get you a husband, settle down, be feminine, be beautiful, be inspirational, find you someone that you could, help him build, right? Kevin was trying to tell y'all. If not, y'all gonna do this OnlyFans stuff. And at that time, he was under the impression that OnlyFans was about to go away, which it was, but then it ended up staying around. Anyway. Garnish the person's wages. Now, what I found out later, exactly, Jovan, exactly. Look, it came back. The people came back. They're like, yo, call the company that she works for, the head office, social security number there. Information came back saying, yo, this person right here, they don't work here. Look, This is before the pandemic. She don't work here. So I'm just like, that explains it, right? Now, had the black woman, let me look, listen. She had 2 little girls living with her, and she had another daughter who was in between her and the baby daddy or something, whatever, right? But the 2 little girls, they lived there in the house with her. So I didn't only put the mama out, I put the little girls out too. Now, I told y'all a few minutes ago that I am a father of 3 little girls, 3 little black girls, right? As a husband, as a father, I would do just about anything to make sure that my children had a roof over their head, right? But a woman, I'm not saying that she didn't try to do everything to keep a roof over her children's head. However, has she had a man, a steady boyfriend, or something that was living there too, paying rent on the lease? He probably would have asked me and talked to me to try to work something out, saying, hey, my woman lost her job. We hurting right now. You know, could we pay you a little bit less? Could we pay you what we have? Something. But that wasn't the case. Now, that's me and what happened to me in my personal life. So I have personal experience when it comes to what Kevin was telling the black women. Y'all gonna be out on the street. I had to put this woman and her 2 children out on the street. This before the pandemic. I keep bringing that up because the pandemic was a little bit different. The government allowed people not to pay rent. They said, yo, you don't got to worry about it. You don't got to worry. Don't pay rent to the owners. Just don't pay rent, right? This is why you got to select your tenants the right way. Select the right people to live in your stuff when you become an owner and you got rental property. You can't just have anybody over there living in your stuff, cuz. Right? I'm saying cuz I want to make sure, hey, I'm not no gang affiliated type stuff. All right, blood? All right, cool. I don't want nobody coming for me. Break the glass on that one, you heard me? But yeah, so let's get into this article. First, we're going to get into the one from theroot.com. Black women face greater eviction, risk of eviction than any other group. This is from King County in Washington State. Remember, this is I mean, technically, we still in the pandemic kind of stages, but hey, we're out of it, and now people are having to pay up their rent, and if you don't have that rent money, guess what? You're out on the street. I'm gonna skip around a little bit. It says, Black women are expected to suffer the most from a potential overflow of evictions found from USA Today investigation. Black women are expected to suffer the most, right? The investigation closely examined King County in Washington, which has the highest eviction filing rate for Black women. So I lived in Washington State, y'all. I lived up in Everett, about 30 minutes north of Seattle, Washington. And to begin with, ain't too many Black folks in Washington, right? Just to be honest. But yeah. Also, the data from the University of Berkeley, Black women are more likely than other groups to face evictions. Evictions against Black women get filed twice the rate of white women nationally. The whole United States. Can y'all see me over here on YouTube? The whole United States, right? Let me see if I can just move this like this. There we go. The whole United States. Go up. All right. That came from Berkeley, right? Experts anticipate Black renters, Black women renters, will continue to suffer from the issues given the lift of the pandemic protections for tenants. Remember, I told you, hey, they didn't have to pay rent. The government said, don't pay rent. It's okay. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Go see the man. You ain't got no credit here. Let you have it. You can stay there. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to pay no rent. Ooh, E40 on them. You feel me? But what ended up happening is Kevin Samuels was right, because eventually they had to kick them out. The roosters came to crow. Kevin told y'all winter's coming. Right? Let's go down this article a little more. USA Today also found that other factors put Black women at risk of eviction, like not having a husband, not having a steady boyfriend, putting your education over your femininity. All these are factors of why Black women are at greater risk of being evicted. Prioritizing your education over trying to find a husband or becoming a wife or taking some feminine etiquette classes or smiling on a daily basis when you pass by people, or just being genuine, being feminine, being nice, being sweet, being respectable. My boy, rest in peace to the late great Baba Dick Gregory, he once said it's not about love. It's about, can you be lovable? Whoo! Can you be lovable? My sisters, can you be lovable? Right? All right. Upon evictions, they are not only at a greater risk of being homeless, but also experience a multitude of health issues that disproportionately affect them upon losing shelter. Wow. So not only will you're at a greater risk of being homeless, to my sisters and my Black queens and sea moss gold, you feel me? The Black woman's God. Not only you're at a greater risk of being homeless, but also to have health issues because of the homelessness, which makes sense, right? You're out on the streets now. You don't really have a place to live. Stress, right? Your adrenaline changes. You become more masculine because now you have to step into that role of being the provider, the man, to hold it down for your family if you have children, right? Kevin was right. This is when I read this article, I was like, rest in peace to the Godfather. It's always been the case that evictions turn families upside down, right? Making it even harder for families to find safety, stable homes in the future. Black and brown women and children are disproportionately affected, says Senator Brown, chairman of the United States Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs to USA Today. Now, like I said, this article came out right before Kevin passed away. And Kevin warned y'all the fall prior that winter was coming and that Black women needed a Black man. But April, this is actually exactly 1 month before Kevin died. This article came out about this eviction issue. Now, one last thing before we get out of here, I'm gonna read this. This was the illustration. It's an illustration article. I wish I'm gonna get to a point one day where I'll be able to like share my screen with y'all, so y'all can actually see what I'm seeing. But y'all can go definitely to the link in my on the YouTube channel. Go to the link. I put the link for the article down below, so y'all can definitely check it out and watch and read it. Look at the illustration. They got this illustration of a Black woman. I'm gonna say that. It says, imagine you missed the rent payment. Just imagine it. You miss your rent payment. Just imagine it. Right? Now, look, I told y'all I had to do a loss mitigation for my mortgage before. That's basically meaning that I missed some payments and I had to change my mortgage. But as an owner, you have that option, right? So during the pandemic, for all the homeowners, right, especially for your primary residence, the one that you live in, if you're not able to make the payments, right, you can do a loss mitigation. They can change your mortgage up for you, and they'll help you. They won't help you, but they'll give you a chance to make new payments at a later date, right? Okay, maybe not this month, next month. We'll do 2 months from now. Start your new payments, right? As a renter, you miss your payment. Y'all tell me what happened. What happens? You don't have that option, do you? What happens is actually, depending on the lease, the terms of the lease, after 3 days of missing payment, after 5 days, after 7 days, you get charged more money. Now, how does that even make sense? I already can't make the payment, the required payment. Now you're gonna make me pay more? Anyway, this illustration. Maybe you lose your job, or you had some car trouble, or you got sick. Any of these reasons could be grounds for an eviction, right? Meaning that those things can lead you to becoming evicted from your home. It makes sense. Keisha, I see you. Salute. I see you with the Barbie, with the pink. If you're a black woman in the United States, your chances of being evicted is higher than any other demographic, right? Now, my girl Keisha watching. Keisha different. Keisha is this. Y'all women out there, y'all need to follow Keisha. Keisha smart. Hey, Keisha got a husband. Keisha got a husband, y'all. Keisha, feminine, beautiful, inspirational. She was not playing. She like, yo, I'm a wife. I'm gonna give me a husband. She got her. You think Keisha worried about written moratoriums? She said, "What did I do? You got you a husband, girl. That's what you did." I don't think her husband is gonna let them be out on the streets. You know, I think her husband got a nice little career going for himself, right? Even I don't know what his career is, but even if he was a dishwasher, I pretty much can guarantee you that he will find a way to make enough money to help keep a roof over him and his wife's head. All right. Hey, you try to talk to the landlord, like I told you about my situation personally. Had the woman came to me and talked to me and told me, hey, I lost my job. I need help right now. Like I wouldn't have been so hardcore. I would have been able to try to work something out with her, right? But she never said she lost her job. She just stopped paying rent. I don't know you lost your job, right? I guess it was embarrassing, whatever the case may be. We knew each other, so it was different. Like she could have told me, hey, I lost my job. I'd been like, okay, don't worry about it. I got to cover the rent, the mortgage anyway. I'm going to keep taking care of it. Go do what you got to do to find you new employment to get back on your feet. We could have worked that out. But you just not saying nothing, not going to help. Now, in this case, from this article, it's saying that you can talk to the landlord. And the landlord saying, can you do some yard work? Or can you do some paint a couple of my other units? I'll be willing to consider taking partial payments. The owner is telling this woman who's a renter who can't make her payments that, hey, if you can do some maintenance work, I will think about some partial payments or, take care of the rent. Now, with my last renters, let me tell you about my last renters. They were excellent. Situations came up where I didn't have enough money to cover some stuff. They said, hey, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Could you help us out with the rent? I say, no problem. Right? You want me to take $300 off the rent? I can take $300 off the rent. You want me to take $800 off the rent? I can take $800 off the rent. Right? Y'all gonna get that issue fixed? It ain't gotta come out of my pocket. We can work something out all day long. Yes, exactly. Sometimes you definitely gotta advocate to put your pride aside. Exactly. I told y'all Keisha's smart, cuz y'all don't believe me. I know Keisha. Like Keisha's smart. She kind of funny acting sometimes, but she's smart. I'm just teasing you. So the woman in this case, in this article that's on usatoday.com, about black women having a housing crisis, right? She's saying that, hey, I don't have childcare in the afternoons, and I work the rest of the day. I'm sorry, is there anything else that I could do? So she's trying to do something else, but she can't do the work. Black women are less likely than black men to fall behind on rent because they'll be able to work out a deal with the landlord. Why? Because man, average typical man can do a little bit of handiwork, a little bit. Like me, I work in property management right now, military housing. I work with the maintenance team, the maintenance side of stuff. Yo, me, I can't fix nothing. I tell you straight up, I can't fix nothing. I can't diagnose nothing, right? But if you need me to paint I can paint I can take a screwdriver, I can screw some stuff in, I can unscrew some stuff, I can hammer, I can nail, I can cut some grass. So I can do a little bit here and there. You feel I can patch a hole. But don't ask me to fix no garbage disposal. It's not gonna happen. Right? It's not gonna happen. Right? But men are more likely to be able to fix things so they can work out a deal with the owner, like, yo, you got other properties, I can do some maintenance work, I can cut some grass, I can do something. But women, more times than none, not that they don't have the skills, but it's not a part of their repertoire. Break the glass on that. Break the glass. Right? So then, hey, they got to move out. Right? They can't work out a deal with the owner. They got to move out. You fight for the eviction. You go to court. You're not going to win in court. You're just not. Unless the owner's really jacked up. And then you'll win. But 9 times out of 10, if you're facing an eviction, the courts are going to lean to the owner. Right? That's why I always tell people, when it comes to real estate, if you get the opportunity, become an owner, right? So you go into court, what it says, you fight the eviction. In most states, you can respond to the eviction by appealing in court for a hearing. Appearing in court for a hearing. But you run into some problems, right? The instructions are confusing, complicated. You try calling, you try emailing the landlord's lawyer, but you're supposed to fax a letter. And guess what happens? You don't have a fax machine, right? So you have to do what? Old school now. You try to go to the library and fax a letter. Now, who's faxing a letter in 2023? I don't know. I don't think fax machines are really still a thing. Right? I don't think they are. But maybe you got to print something out. You don't have a print machine at home. You don't have a home. You're homeless right now. You're just being kicked out, right? So what do? You go to the public library, right? Hey, but you're a single mom. You don't have childcare after school, so no one can look after your child while you go to try to find a printer, fax machine to do this work, right? This is how hard it is for single black women when it comes to the eviction process, right? They're trying to get paperwork done, but they can't even get the paperwork done because they have these more higher obligations. Those of you who just joined on YouTube, I'm actually reading an article from USA Today about the black women crisis as far as being evicted in this country. And you can check out the link. It's in the description below. All right, you got a time clock as well, y'all. So you got things got to be done by a certain time, right? You want to hire a lawyer. The woman wants to hire a lawyer, but she can't. Why? Because a lawyer costs $100 to $400 an hour, right? And that's not including court filing fees, which is $200 an hour, with $200 flat fee, $200, right? You show up to court, you don't have a lawyer, black woman. But guess who does have a lawyer? The landlord. Eviction proceedings are mostly formalities and are often over in minutes. This is very true. When I did my eviction for my resident, I told you I evicted that black woman. Sorry. She didn't talk to me about it. I'm sorry. And she told me she lost her job. We could have worked something out. She didn't say nothing. She didn't have a man to help vouch for her, right? To try to say, hey, baby, we're gonna work something out with clout. They didn't say that. Look, when we got to court, evidence is here. I'm here because she didn't pay rent. If she paid rent, I wouldn't be here. It's kind of simple as that when it comes to court, right? How do you wish to respond? The judge says, the single black woman says, I tried to give my landlord partial payments, but he refused to work with me. I'm sorry, but without the total amount, there isn't much that can be done. It's a wrap. Black woman, what Kevin say? She belonged to the street. She belonged to the street. In less than 10 minutes, the judge rules you are going to lose your home, which wasn't your home to begin with, but you know what they say. After you lose your home, things get worse. Similar to an arrest, an eviction record will follow you for decades. 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 Look, Kevin said winter's coming. Savalas didn't say that. But he wasn't lying. A month before Kevin died, this article came out about black women being affected the most from evictions. This eviction, no, she belongs in the streets. A lot of our people don't think that they will be homeless, right? And this is what Kevin was telling them. And they were, I remember one interview, this woman, she refused to say it. Like, she gave him 25 different answers. And he's like, no, you're going to be on the streets homeless, right? And my man, Jovan, we from the Bay. So, in Oakland right now, homelessness is terrible. Just terrible, man. You're basically blackballed from the rental market. Because if you have an eviction on your record when they go to run your background, it's like you're not trustworthy, right? Some owners, they'll work with you, strike a deal with you or something, but because owners are looking for extremely qualified renters to rent their properties, right? Not just so they can take good care of the property, but so why? They can get their money. Right? The effects on your family can be devastating. Like we said, like you can really become sick because of the situation, right? It says in the article, evictions can result in a higher rate of hypertension, arthritis, mental illness, tuberculosis, and substance abuse. Wow. It's very stressful, right? It puts you at risk. It puts you at risk of ending up homeless, in prison, or dead. That's how the article ends, cuz. I'm laughing. It's funny, but it ain't funny. I'm gonna read that one more time. It puts you at I'm saying great. That article didn't say great. It puts you at risk of ending up homeless, in prison, or dead. Now, what that sound like? Let me tell you what that sounds like. That's the end of the article. I'm done. I'm done with the article about black women. Kevin Samuels was right. Black women, winter's coming. You're going to end up in the streets, like my boy Jovan said. You're going to end up in the streets, right? If you don't learn quickly how to become a wife, at least a steady girlfriend, right? The eviction moratorium, Saint African, what's up? You might got to go back and rewatch this one, dog. Look, the moratoriums is over. Black women is gone. You got to pay the rent money. OnlyFans? not gonna do it, right? That little $400 you was making a month, $300, you was stunting like your daddy, stunting like my daddy, but you don't know your daddy, stunting like your daddy, stunting like your daddy, all that is over. Kevin was right. Winter is coming. Winter is came. Winter is here. The articles I just read from usatoday.com laid it out there for y'all. Right? I told y'all my personal experience. I evicted a black woman before and her 2 kids. They for the street. They in the street. But once again, had she had a man, I don't care, a Mexican man, a Chinese man, an African man, had she had a man, he probably would have came to me as the owner and been like, hey, right now she lost her job. We're working on getting some things together. You know, if you need some help, you know, some maintenance done around the house, I can do that to kind of help you can help us in the meantime to work out a deal, you know, to get the, you know, until we're able to get some money to pay you rent. I could have worked out a deal with the woman, but she never told me she lost her job. If you don't tell me you lost your job, I'm expecting my money. And if I don't get my money, I got to file an eviction notice on y'all. And then once that happened, shout out to Kevin Samuels, she belonged to the street. But the black woman that I evicted, she didn't have a man, right? She had a couple baby daddies, but I'm just saying. My other renters, guess what? It was a husband and a wife. And I never had no issues getting my rent money. You think winter's coming for them? Hell no. That man gonna make sure his wife and his kids got somewhere to stay. He gonna do whatever odd jobs he gotta do to build up some money to make sure they good. Black women, not that y'all not capable of the skills to do this stuff that's needed in times of desperation. It's just not in you. Right? The article told y'all. It wasn't me. The article told y'all. Right? You got daycare, you got childcare to worry about, after school program to worry about. How much more a relief it would be if you had a husband, a steady boyfriend, to say, take care of the kids, let me go handle this. Or if you could go take care of the kids and he can go handle that. But y'all want to be strong, independent, CMOS gold, black woman is queen. I don't need no man. Y'all are scrubs. I can do bad by myself. Y'all want to set it off. I mean, but Kevin was right. And y'all can say what y'all want about the Godfather. But at the end of the day, when it comes to real estate, the article told y'all, not me. I just read what the people put out. Right? Statistics, facts, proof. Hey, break the glass. Because the Godfather was right. Winter was coming. Winter's here. And y'all are for the street. The economy's bad, worse than it's ever been. Right? The only way to combat this thing, you got to get some new skills. You got to get into some new trades. You got to learn something different. You got to be different. And if you're a woman, you got to be feminine, beautiful, and inspirational. And learn how to be under a man's leadership. If not, that article said that y'all are an eviction crisis. Y'all are 2 times as likely to be evicted than a white woman here in America. 2 times as likely. Why is that? This is why is that? 2 times is more likely. Now, Kevin always told us, and he brought up the stats, that black women are married at a rate of about 26%, which is 1/4. White women are married at a rate of about, what was it, 57%, 53%, somewhere right there. Double the amount, right? So it makes sense that white women would be, that black women would be twice as at risk of being evicted than a white woman. Why? Because the white woman is at home with her husband, even though she might not be giving them no walk 3,000, she still got that covering. And a lot of our women, sadly to say, Saint African, double O soul, my girl Keisha from earlier, sadly to say, a lot of our women are not covered. And so you got these people being evicted. I didn't write the article. I just read it. I hope I did a decent job reading it. I'm not the best reader. But in the real estate game, Kevin was right. With all your PhDs, your master's degrees, your y'all independent, strong, don't need no man selves. The article said, USA Today said, y'all in trouble. So, like I said, if I was y'all, I would definitely take some feminine etiquette classes and go from there. But hey, in all fairness, since I'm gonna wrap this up, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm gonna wrap this up. I know I started a whole hour early because I need to go to sleep so I can go to work. Why? Because I told you I got 3 little girls and a wife. That's why I gotta do it. Right? So, in all fairness, right? Let's be fair. It's not just black women who are facing this eviction crisis. Right? It's a lot of ethnicities and all genders, no matter what gender you want to be today, right? Shim, I don't know. But all genders, all races, all colors. Yeah, exactly. Trouble. Playing it with the birdie back. Are all in trouble when it comes to these evictions, when it comes to this real estate game, right? It's a lot of people that's in trouble now. It's not just black women. But I just wanted to highlight that because people, were talking bad about the Godfather, and we not gonna let nobody talk bad about the Godfather, You feel me? Salute to Kevin Samuels, man. Rest in heaven, big dog. But yeah, everybody who's having issues with this inflation, it's affecting all of us, right? Even if you got bread, even if you're a multi-millionaire, right? It's affecting you. We see it right now in San Francisco. The office units, the big buildings, the big skyscrapers in San Francisco, the owners of those buildings, they're foreclosing on they can't hold the properties no more, right? Why? Because nobody's in the buildings. People working from home, right? A lot of buildings in San Francisco, a lot of companies that own the buildings. I'm not saying the companies that own the buildings, they're giving the mortgages back to the banks. Y'all can go find them articles right now. Y'all ain't gotta believe me. Y'all can go look that up yourself, right? That's throughout all big Boston, Miami, all these big cities. Like they're hurting, right? And that's talking about office spaces, but when you talk about real estate in general, like housing, apartments, duplexes, all that, the people who were not able to pay their rent or catch up on their rent after this moratorium was over, homelessness is wrapping up, y'all. It's wrapping up. And so with that said, I'm gonna get up out of here. We're gonna break the glass one more time. Stone Cold Steve Austin style, you feel me? Anyway, thank y'all for rocking with me. I hope y'all have a good night, have a good week, have a productive week. Stay out of trouble. I don't want to hear nobody got hurt, injured, or is in the hospital. You feel me? Let's take care of ourselves. And until next time, it's your boy, SavalasWilliams. You've been watching Clout Chasing, where we mix the culture with the real estate. Mm.